Breaking news, President Trump signing an executive order resuming the United States refugee admission program with enhanced vetting procedures. This amid a slower hiring process of border patrol agents. In fact, reports say 65% of these applicants are now failing a polygraph test, with many actually admitting to committing crimes. With me now to discuss it all, Steve Rogers, Donald J. Trump for President, Inc. Advisory Board member, former Trump campaign advisor, and also former FBI National Joint Terrorism Task Force member, along with Art DeQuayle, National Border Patrol Council Vice President and Border Patrol agent. Art, I got to start with you because it's sort of alarming, if you will, and there's some pushback about the use of a polygraph in a hiring process of Border Patrol agents. We want capable people out there. Is this helping or hurting the process?
It's different. You hear polygraph and everyone automatically assumes, well, it's a lie detector test. It must be true. It must be 100%. But the reality is a polygraph is something you can't even use in the court. You can't even use it for court. And now we're using it to affect a lot of agents' lives or people that are trying to become agents. I think that the process that we've had in place before was something that worked. In addition, we get tons of emails and calls from individuals that have gone through this polygraph, and they say it is nothing short of getting waterboarded almost. Some of these experiences that we are hearing from other people, they're saying they're there between 8, 9, sometimes 10 hours that they're being questioned. And we've spoken to other agencies and saying, 4 hours polygraph. So I think what we need to focus on is the individuals that are doing the polygraphs and how these polygraphs are being conducted.
Although, Steve, we just had a board up with some of the crimes admitted to. Some of those are some pretty scary things, that you don't want anybody in law enforcement to have.
They're very scary. You're talking about child pornography. You're talking about perhaps drug offenses. Look, the bottom line is this, Charles. The president has made it very, very clear that he wants to protect the American people. And the Border Patrol agents, who do a great job to the best of their ability, is our national security. That's our line of defense against terrorists from coming into this country. So you want the best and the brightest. And to the point of them getting involved in this issue of polygraphs. Look, under the Obama administration, low morale, they weren't able to do their job, low pay. So President Trump is committed to fixing a mess that was created that he inherited over 8 years of that type of policy.
Let's talk about the refugee program, because when they talked about a temporary ban, I'm accustomed to anything that the federal government does as a temporary anything lasting anywhere from years to decades. And the notion that the Trump administration is ready to allow refugees to come back in under stricter guidelines, I think is a major victory. I think it says something that we're not going to hear in the mainstream media about this administration saying, hey, listen, it was a ban, it was temporary. We made some changes, and now we're going to start letting people back in the country, but under more stringent guidelines.
You bet. He said he would do that. He said he would take the course. Look, he's a father, he's a husband, he's a very compassionate man. And Charles, when we talk about enhanced vetting, we're talking about information sharing, intelligence sharing. Didn't have that in the past. There was a lot of turf battles going on between FBI, CIA, local law enforcement. The president is bringing it all together, and he's going to make America great again going down that road.
All right, I do want to ask you about that. And also, Steve brought up morale. We know that the Border Patrol agents were really enthusiastic about the notion of a President Trump coming into office. I think it was one of the more neglected agencies under the previous administration. How are things now?
Honestly, I think President Trump has done a fantastic job when it comes to bringing the issues to the American public and seeing what we really deal with. Is the morale better? The morale is better, but I will tell you that the morale is still not where it should be. There's still issues that need to be taken care of. There's a lot of men and women out there that constantly put their lives on the line, and they need to be taken care of correctly for putting their lives on the line for our country. President Trump's done a better job, much better job, bringing everything to light. But the reality is the morale is still not where it should be.
Well, first you shed the light, and then we'll start to reel that morale back up. Gentlemen, thank you both very, very much. And at home, thank you as well. Now here's Lou Dobbs.